going to do whatever I think is most fun, you know? So I'm going to keep covering the political content like I always do, because ultimately that's the reason I started this. I want to be in this particular space on the internet and add another male conservative voice to it, because I'm trying my best to join the culture war, if you know what I mean. However, it's fun for me to talk about other things too. So I love the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I love the Lord of the Rings series. I love The Hobbit. I love the Silmarillion. I love all of that, right? It's all absolutely fantastic, and I dive into the lore all the time, and I know an awful lot about it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I don't know about it. I have not, however, seen this video, or at least I don't remember watching this video. Really, I've done a lot of lore deep dives, so like, listen, whatever. So this might be a video that I put on the channel. This might be something that I just do on the stream. I'm not really sure one way or the other. But this is something I feel like covering because it seems like fun to me. So this is fan theories that could be true from the Lord of the Rings. Let's find out. And I probably have stuff to say about this, honestly, because again, I know a lot about the
Lord of the Rings. We know that Bilbo had met Gollum years ago, taking the precious
60 years, in fact, prior to the first Fellowship of the Ring movie. Anyway.
Ring from him. This first theory suggests that Gollum took his revenge against Frodo's parents. In the beginning of the Lord of the Rings, we know that Bilbo has adopted Frodo after his parents were killed when he was 12. We learned that
damn. Okay.
Frodo's parents were killed in a boating accident, or so we are told. Frodo learns this from Gandalf, who we all know takes a special kinship with Frodo. He would likely want to spare Frodo the pain of knowing the truth. As for Gollum, we know his madness over the ring is all-consuming, making his journey to the Shire in search of Bilbo likely. It is also likely that Gollum could have mistaken Bilbo for Drogo, Frodo's father. This theory ties the events of The Hobbit closer to the Lord of the Rings. It would also give Bilbo a sense of guilt and explain why he would feel obligated to look after Bilbo despite him being 21 years old at the time of adoption. The bond between Sam and Frodo is the heart of the series. Seeing these two go from carefree teen.
Hold on. He's moving really fast. Okay, so the theory is that Gollum killed Frodo's parents as a way to get back at Bilbo for stealing the ring. And Bilbo, feeling guilty about it, adopts Frodo even at 12 years old. And then Frodo, being so grateful to Bilbo for that, feels the need to take care of him even though he's an adult now. Oh, dude, you know, that could be a thing. I mean, that's oh man, that fits. Shit. And the thing is, Tolkien deliberately left plot holes, or not really plot holes, deliberately left holes in the story and in the lore to make the world seem that much larger, right? Like, he doesn't go into any of the lore from the Blue Wizards because he wants you to imagine that. The moment he describes what actually happened, the world and the universe and the lore of this gets smaller, and I totally agree. It's an absolute masterclass in world building, man, and the fact that this could totally be possible is amazing.
Climbing Mount Doom is quite the journey.
Wait, Sam is a real one, alright? What are we doing here? What's happening?
It is clear that their friendship was what made them able to win in the end.
It is.
But was their connection just a friendship?
Rudy.
This theory states that Sam and Frodo's relationship has some shades of a romantic one. Fans...
Oh my God, no, stop it. Sam liked the girl from the tavern. What?
Scholars and academics
I could see Elijah Wood being gay, but like, come on.
Have debated this. This debate on what they were to each other has persisted
right here. He's smiling because Sam grabs his butt. Watch.
To this day. So much so that in the prequel Hobbit trilogy, many noticed an in-your-face love triangle that was added.
Okay, what? Hold on. What does the Hobbit have to do with Sam? What?
From the books. Fans speculated that due to all the discourse surrounding Sam and Frodo, they didn't want a similar thing to happen with the primarily male cast. This pullback from the studio does lend more credence to this theory, despite never being confirmed.
I'm glad you're with me.
That's because in the books, Gandalf was like, listen, if you leave Frodo, I swear to God, I'll kill you, right? So Sam was just very terrified. But also, he had a crush on the girl from the tavern. They're not gay. Frodo is a little homo, maybe, but like it's probably the ring, right? It's the crazy Maiar ring thing.
One of the more tragic moments in The Lord of the Rings is the story of the Ents. In Two Towers, Pippin and Merry find themselves talking when
unsung heroes of the whole trilogy. I'm just saying. Let's give it up for Merry and Pippin, right? Let's give them one, okay? Definitely subscribe to me if you like Merry and Pippin.
we see that there are only
Oh, miss behind the world ahead, and there are many paths to tread.
only males left.
Mist and shadow. All right.
A theory proposes that Saruman killed all of the female Ents, known as the Entwives. More specifically, the White Wizard was helping Saruman build his empire.
Yeah, we killed the Ents, but we only killed the girls. Yeah, we're going to war. No girls allowed. This is fucking Lord of the Rings Warhammer.
It is well known to many that Tolkien was a World War I solider, and many of the story
Yes, he
beats
is.
come from his own personal experience with war,
Oh,
much
he
like
did?
real war.
Yeah, back in my days, honey, we didn't have bitches on the battlefield. They stayed in the nursing camps and the kitchens.
No matter who is fighting, the natural world always loses in the end, having Saruman be the cause of the Entwives.
That's fair. Listen, I really do like that because the symbolism is that, like, no matter how much industrialization you want to do, no matter how much you want to build up, no matter how much you want to try and change it, eventually nature will end up taking over once more, and it will completely destroy everything that you've done, and you cannot stop it. Nature will always win in the end, one way or the other, and it's an absolutely beautiful scene. Release the river.
Going extinct would drive Tolkien's point home even further. This would also give more of a reason as to why Treebeard and his friends would be out of the war when Pippin and Merry meet him. They are likely the last ones of their kind, with no hope of
You know, I really like it because they were like, you know what? Nah, we're just not going to do anything because it's fine. It doesn't really affect us. And then the moment it affects them, it's fuck it. We're destroying everything. Like, burn it all down.
building their people and making their story.
The moment that Treebeard here, like the Ent, decides, oh hell no, they killed my friends. Fuck that. We are going to war. And the fact that he just decided it on his own and they had to have like a whole Ent council here, like what the hell? Who even is this guy in the Ent community, you know?
Story all the more tragic. Tolkien created not only one of the best fantasy stories of all time, but also the benchmark for nearly every fantasy world that would follow. Middle-earth is as iconic as they come.
It really is. Again, masterclass world builder, dude, for real.
With fans mapping almost every inch of the land. So much so that fans have wondered if there were any ties to another iconic fantasy world. This next theory ponders if Middle-earth is Westeros thousands of years in the past. Game of Thrones took the
Whoa. Don't you dare bring in those brotherfuckers.
classic formula of The Lord of the Rings and made the fantasy elements less of a forefront, barring the Dragon Queen. Fans have thought that this could be due to the humans of Middle-earth. After centuries of war and violence, the creatures of Middle-earth have been extinguished. All that is left are the humans and the dragon.
Okay. If we didn't have the Silmarillion, I would agree with that. There is no way, because it literally explains the creation of the universe. It literally explains how all of that came to be, and it also explains that Middle-earth is just a really small part of the universe.
To remember the
It also explains that all of the dragons were killed long before, 60 years or so, before Frodo started his journey, right? The only thing they had left were Nazgul, and those are barely dragons. They look a lot like dragons, don't get me wrong, but they're barely dragons.
passed by. If true, this is quite a dark turn for the Lord of the Rings series. Yet this is in line with the tone of Game of Thrones. Fans have also
Yeah, with the throne of Game of Thrones, but the fact that we have the Silmarillion literally disproves that entire theory. What?
cited similar landmarks that could have been changed over time.
Oh.
G.R.R. Martin has stated Tolkien's books' profound effect on him and the
Yeah, Yeah, no, listen, if anything, he just copied what was going on in Middle-earth. It has nothing to do with Middle-earth being an extension of George R.R. Martin stuff.
The fantasy genre, so it would be easy to assume that Martin would use similar styling for his fantasy world, perhaps as an homage to the novels that
also based old gods, for real, like honestly.
Interested him. This next theory has to do with the split personality of Gollum and Smeagol.
Okay, this is one of my favorite parts of the entire trilogy. The fact that he can talk to himself like that, and he's got like this whole little separate personality, specifically because of the corruption of the ring, is absolutely amazing.
We see the ring has power over Smeagol.
Oh boy, Grima Wormtongue here, buddy. Which a lot of people didn't even really know, but yeah.
Turning him from a hobbit into the creature we all know. This theory says that the personality of Gollum is actually the ring manifesting into a living vessel. Gollum's sole purpose is to get the ring back.
Kind of makes you wonder, is Gollum a eunuch? Because, like, we never see anything swinging.
Back. To do so, he has to attempt to prey on Frodo's fears. He is successful in this. Some believe this power of persuasion could come from the ring.
Also, what kind of pain tolerance does this dude have to have? You are drowning in lava and you aren't even screaming.
Itself.
How much did they torture you? What did they do to you, Gollum? Who hurt you?
Having held it for so long, the ring has put a piece of itself inside Smeagol, which is what caused the split in his personality. This would also make sense as to why Gollum can track the ring so easily, as it is a part of his very being.
Yeah, but it doesn't explain why he can climb directly down rocks like he was just doing. Anyway, no, so yeah, it's not a fan theory that it's the ring that caused that, right? Like, that's just true, isn't it?
A running joke throughout the trilogy is the seemingly endless stomach of the hobbits.
We've had one, yes. What about second breakfast?
That's true. Or 11sies. Dinner, luncheon, afternoon tea, huh?
Specifically Pippin, while this is...
I believe it's breakfast, second breakfast, 11sies, luncheon, afternoon tea, dinner, supper, and then dessert.
Played for laughs, one theory suggests that it is...
And all while sitting in a tavern, getting drunk and watching bar wenches. Fuck yeah, man. Peak life experience.
Not up to them. Rather, it is an actual biological...
Oh, and I forgot, they smoke a lot of weed, too.
...trait that they need to consume more food.
Like that, right there. Long bottom leaf, buddy.
In our world, it is known that smaller animals typically have to consume more because their bodies process food much faster.
The drinking game in the tavern.
It is then easy to assume that hobbits are similar, making their
Don't mind us. We were just out here stealing from, the farmer.
Conceived overindulgence of food, something that they cannot control. Another fact that supports this is that despite how much we see the hobbits eat, we don't see many overweight ones, meaning that this level of food is not abnormal.
They're also always outside, like, tilling the garden, bro. Like, come on. They don't live as much as they live a sedentary lifestyle. They're outside doing shit. They're not inside watching TV, right? Like, when he gets done eating this meal that he probably stood in his kitchen and made for himself, he's gonna take his dishes into the kitchen and he's gonna wash them, and then he's gonna clean the house, and then he's gonna go to bed, and then in the morning he might do his weeds in the garden. Excuse me. He might go and do the weeds in the garden after smoking a little bit of weed on his bench and checking the mail. Now, I know that because this is from The Hobbit, none of that's going to happen. He's going to try and eat this, and then somebody's going to knock on his door, and it's going to be like a whole thing. Because really, the hobbits just do whatever Gandalf wants, but that's not the point.
Normal for their bodies. This theory doesn't do much to change the story. However, it does add just a bit more texture to the already expansive world. A common complaint with the Lord of the Rings trilogy centers around the...
Hey. Centers around the Eagles? Alright, here's my prediction. Why did they spend 3 movies walking to Mordor instead of getting on the Eagles and flying there? That is a fair point.
Eagles. Why did...
That is a fair thing. 1000%, yes. They clearly could go there. They're there now.
Didn't the hobbits just use the eagles?
Yes, why didn't they? Other than the fact that the Nazgûls probably would have attacked the eagles, even though the eagles can beat them.
This theory attempts to explain that Gandalf...
as far as I know, like, lore-wise, it's just because a lot like the Ents, they went, nah, we don't care. I mean, you're gonna do whatever you do, and we're gonna watch it happen.
Was way ahead of all of us, and wanted the team to use the eagles, too.
Yes,
after fighting off the Balrog, Gandalf's famous last words, "Fly, you fool."
Yeah, get on the eagles and fly.
could have been his way of hinting at what he wanted the team to do. His telling them to fly could be interpreted as him telling them quite literally to fly the rest of the way.
Also, fun fact, Gandalf and the Balrog are the same class of being. Just throwing that out there.
Or to this, earlier in the film, Gandalf suggests that they head north, and as the theory says, in order to meet up with the Eagles. They would then take Frodo and Sam to Mount Doom. Unfortunately for Gandalf, things didn't work out that way, leaving him just one sentence to attempt to tell the Fellowship his plans. Since we are talking about Gandalf and his not-so-great plans, let's talk about why Merry and Pippin were really there. From the moment Frodo accepts the task,
they just got caught up in it, right? Like, I know that they weren't there initially to begin with. Sam was only there because he got caught eavesdropping, and it's like, well, Frodo could use some company. The other two just kind of got roped in with it, right? Like,
of bearing the ring, you can see a look of sadness on Gandalf's face. He is well aware that whoever takes this ring is doomed, and despite his admiration for Frodo, he knows that there is too much at stake. That said, if he knew how dangerous this quest was, why would he agree to bring Sam, Pippin, and Merry? This theory suggests that they were meant as backup hobbits. It is shown how much Gandalf...
Dude, no way. No, yeah, you guys can go, because if Frodo ends up fucking up and dying, I've got 3 backups. It's fine. No. Oh, God.
appreciates the Hobbit race. No.
Oh man, that's some shit that I think Gandalf might do though. And that's the crazy thing, because he just like he just breaks into fucking Bilbo's house whenever he wants, which is wild.
Knowing how truly courageous they can be, bringing along 3 more of them would be for security.
It's not security, it's insurance in case Frodo can't do it. Oh no.
In case Frodo was killed or succumbed to the ring, the others could pick up the...
I can't unsee that anymore. No! Why?
torch. This is quite a dark theory for the lovable wizard, but with Middle-earth at stake, it is understandable that he would have a couple of contingency plans in place. This last theory concerns the true hero of this story, Samwise Gamgee. There is an idea among audiences that the story we see is not the truth of what happened. The theory goes that in reality, Frodo died on their journey to Mount Doom, either being killed by a creature or with the ring taking over and leaving Sam as the one to throw the ring away. Because he cared for his friend and didn't want to see his memory tarnished, he made up a majority of the events that we see involving Frodo and making up this grand adventure, as well as his departure with the elves at the end. This theory does lend itself to...
If you told me that Frodo didn't make it out of Shelob's lair, I would believe you. I would, like, if I'm just being honest. But also, Sam got really good at fighting orcs by the end of the series. So, like, honestly, in terms of insurance, like, Gandalf won. Because Sam was pretty good. Like, he probably could have taken the whole thing by himself. And let's not just take it, like, let's not forget the fact that he literally carried Frodo up an entire mountain.
What many believe is already true. Sam was the real hero of the...
After falling down a mountain and then realizing he was betrayed by Gollum and climbing back up out of sheer spite. Oh, yeah.
Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings is one of, if not the, most beloved and acclaimed fantasy stories of all time, spawning an entire generation of fantasy lovers who have created their own worlds. Everyone knows this is the one that started them all. With that power, it is no wonder that fans are still coming up with new theories and Easter eggs to this day. What is your favorite theory that could be true?
So obviously my favorite one was the one that my favorite one was definitely the one where Gandalf just had a bunch of backup hobbits for the ring, because I haven't heard that one before, and bro, does that make a lot of sense, because like the more you dive into the lore, the more you realize that Gandalf was not necessarily a good guy. He was doing the best he could to try and save Middle-earth, which was his duty given to him by the leader of the Maiar. Anyway, alright, definitely subscribe to me, definitely go to X and follow me there, definitely subscribe to whatever platform you are watching me on, be it Rumble or YouTube, because it's not really cool to watch me and not be subscribed, right? I'm trying to grow this channel. Anyway, so I had fun this time. If you guys want me to cover stuff that's not politics more often, then, let me know. Anyway, bye guys!